Hi, I'm attorney James Betzold, and I'm the founder of PrimaFacie. We are excited today to announce the release of package assembly. So as you're creating your case, you need forms, you have your exhibits, you have addendums, you have files probably that you've uploaded. Well, now, inside of PrimaFacie, we have a way for you to gather all those items, put them in order, generate a cover letter and a table of contents, complete with page numbers, and we even include exhibit sheets between each of the exhibits in your case. This makes it very easy later on for reviewing inside of a PDF, so you can flip quickly to whatever you're looking for. We're going to show you how to set this up. We're really excited. Please take advantage of it. It's going to save you hours and hours on each case that you're preparing to send to the government. I'm attorney James Betzold. Here we go. First of all, we're going to go over to our administrator panel here. And in the administrator panel, we are going to click on Lab. And make sure you click Package Assembly. So we have it in our lab right now. Why? Because it's just going live to production right now. We want to be sure that before it's officially released, that we've had a chance to have it in a live environment, people actively using it, make sure that the load is appropriate, that servers are responding correctly, things like that. Like I said, we've done our initial testing, and if you find an issue, please report it to us as an issue, and we'll update it with the next release. So you got to come here to Lab and click Package Assembly to enable it. We're going to be doing this with other features that we use in the future as well. We've got some things we want to be testing out soon. All right, once that's enabled, click on one of your contacts. So here is my contact, and now I'm going to go into my case. And we're going to just run a test with this N400 case. All right, now, as you know, inside Prima, you can record items in a checklist. So you can upload items directly to your checklist. And as a quick reminder, if you have a new item that's not on the checklist, you can say, new item. And you can add an item to the checklist. Okay, so you scroll down here, there it is. You can upload a document to it. Now, you know that there's a document uploaded when you have the little blue button here, and you can click View to see the name of the document you uploaded. So I've got a few items here that we've uploaded documents for on the checklist. And remember, your client can upload documents to the checklist from their client portal as well. Let's look at the forms. In this case, we have, for example, this G28, where this person's the applicant. We have a 1450, where we've got the applicant and the credit card holder. We've got the N400, where I put myself as the applicant. Let's go ahead and add an interpreter here. And I got an I-730, which doesn't belong in this case, and a D5540. But you know what? Even though those don't belong with the N400, let's just for fun, let's see if there's anything to generate there. Nothing to generate. Okay, we'll add all these to the case. We've got a contact listed here. You can see that we've generated the addendums for these forms here, so those are ready to go. And we're going to jump over to documents. As you know, you can upload documents directly to your PrimaFacie account. Every account essentially has unlimited storage, as long as you're not uploading Blu-rays or DVDs or something where it's violating the law and taking up unlimited amounts of taking up inordinate amounts of bandwidth, right? Any normal law firm is going to be fine for regular business here. So we've got documents we've uploaded. Now these, they don't have a real easy to read name. They're just letters and numbers here. But here I've uploaded some where I've actually described what they are. All right. So we've got our forms, we've got our checklist items, we've got some documents, we've got a couple of notes in the case too. We're ready to use package assembly. So let's assemble that final packet. So we click on package assembly. You can see I've assembled one already here, but we're going to start a new one. So even if you've generated a package in that case, you can generate another one later should you need it for an RFE or something like that. And this is package assembly. So let's open each of these items. From our checklist, you can see every item on the checklist that has a file uploaded to it. Those are listed here. Okay, so let's go and add, well, we'll add those in a minute, because typically we add our forms first. We want those to be first in order. So we've got these forms, we've got some addendums there, we've got these things here, we've got these forms. We're going to add all of those forms except this petitioner information form. We don't need that one. We're going to add all the rest of them. Of course, we're going to start with the G28, 1450, and 400. We click this to add them to the package, right? We're adding these 8 items to our package here. Now, when you add an item to the package, what do you notice? You've got the form itself, and you can actually do like indenting. So if I do this, it's going to put the G1450 under the G28 item. It's going to be part of that item in our table of contents. So let's start by adding our forms. You can see our addendums. That's how we want it. We want our addendums really, nested inside of the form itself. So those are good to go. So we've got our forms in the list. Let's add some other things. Let's go to our checklist items. Those are probably where we're going to have most of our exhibits listed already the way we want. So if we go to, well, let's just, all checklist items with a file show up here. So we're going to add all those. Yes, we're going to add these items here. And you'll notice that for every item on this list, you can manually rename these things. These are editable. And what we've done is we added here the revision date of the form. So you can quickly make sure that you're using the right version of the form, so something that by accident doesn't go out that's a previous version. Okay, so again, these documents here, information on children, that's the checklist item. These are the words on there. If you want to change it, you can do that here. And so let's say we want to change this to pictures of family. And we've got this one that I've uploaded here, and it's nested inside this item. So it's not a principal item, it's a nested item. You can, again, for all these items, you can change the text so it makes more sense for you. If you upload the files with a regular name, like I'm going to show you in a second here, it'll show up that way, and you can avoid having to edit it here as well. All right, so we added forms and checklist items. Let's add documents from the files. So from the files, from the documents tab. 1, 2, 3. Let's add these 3 that I've already labeled nicely. We add those. Everything automatically gets added to the bottom here. If you want to, you can rearrange them just by dragging and dropping. So let's say you have these documents, but these are really, let's say these are family pictures. You could take this, scroll up. I'm actually using the middle wheel on my mouse to scroll. It's easier that way. And you can put it under here, under pictures of family. So now I've got those items nested inside here, and you'll see how that works out. These are all right now principal items. Let's minimize the files. We added those. And the last thing we can add to our package right now is notes. So I created these 2 notes, which I've labeled inside Prima. I know how those look. I'm just going to put those in here. That might be, I don't know, it could be anything. It could be just some notes you took earlier that you think you need to include in the case. Could be some important information maybe that you've pasted in there. As you're assembling the case, you can be adding any notes that you want to add here. Now, the other thing that we do with package assembly, we've got everything in order how we want it here. Let's go ahead and generate a table of contents. All right, now we need to select the page where we want the table of contents to start indexing from, because the table of contents, we want it to start with the forms typically, just like this. Most of the time, I think you're going to be here. If you're doing an EOIR case and your court says, only page number the stuff after the forms, okay, then you start after the forms. But I want to start here. And so we're going to do this, and we're going to, at the bottom of the packet, we have the footer, right? So we can put in a custom label there. It's going to have the page numbers. I want to add this A number and maybe the name. And maybe the form number. Okay, and then we're going to start indexing with the G28. So we're going to throw page numbers on that, and we'll click Generate. Voila, here's our table of contents. Click the Edit button to take a closer look, and you can see here's the table. So we've numbered every item. Okay, and again, there's the principal items and the sub-items. Sub-items are all part of that main exhibit number here. We have page numbers. It's automatically done for you. How cool is that? And our whole table of contents is there. Now, in my practice, have found a table of contents to be super useful. I actually model my table of contents in things like a waiver, really detailed. So I'll put like evidence of extreme hardship, evidence of medical hardship, evidence of whatever kind of hardship, so that as the adjudicator is going through it, if it's a Friday afternoon and they want to zip through the last few on their case and I might be the last one, they can see really quickly that I've got a load of evidence and that it's legitimate. So here's the table of contents. The other thing you can do here is scroll up and you can type in whatever text you want here, right? So if you have, for example, a cover letter that you typically use, we don't support images right now, but we're working on that. You can copy in the stuff for the cover letter, paste it here. I say leave a few spaces because if you're going to print it on your letterhead, you want to have room for your logo and stuff at the top. And click Save. Okay, so now, and I mean actually from here you can say, you know, Dear Officer, please see the enclosed for filing in this matter, or whatever other maybe custom text you have there, or if this is an issue you've been dealing with and you need attention to someone high up, you could say supervisor review or expedited review requested, right? Expedited review requested. And you can make these bigger or bolder or however you want to format those. So you have them. Let's see, let's do heading like that. All right, click Save. And so essentially that's your cover letter and table of contents. Now, you can also add a custom page. So for example, we're going to add a custom page. We're going to give it a title. We're going to say sample, let's call it sample text. So if for some reason you need to throw in another page somewhere after you've done all this, you can do that. Sample page and text add. Okay, so now I've got this sample page here at the bottom. So let's say I want to put it near the top and say I want to put it before the table of contents. I could do that, no problem. All right, so now that you've seen the functionality of what you can add to the package here, how the nesting works, how you can see these thumbnails here, so you can sort of see what is going where, how you can customize the listing here in the table of contents, let's click Generate. Let's generate this PDF package. Yeah, generate. Now, working with PDFs, generating and rendering a big document like this, which has a lot of pages in it, could take a few minutes. So we give you this little notification that, hey, you're going to be notified via the firm notifications email address. This is set in the administrator panel. Just a quick reminder here. Let's go to the administrator panel. In the firm's notification email, it's set here. And you can update the social information and the notification email there as well. All right, so now you'll wait for that email notification, or you can go back to the package assembly page and refresh it periodically until it appears ready to download. So let's click OK. Let's go back to our case here. We're going back to that N400 case. Package assembly page. And we can see that the most recent one we just generated here has been queued. So it has been placed in line. This is sort of a British term, queued. And we're going to refresh the page until it shows that we can download it. So let's refresh. Should be really quick here. Refresh one time. Not yet. Let's refresh again. I can always cut this out. Still says it's queued. All right, let's reload it a little bit here. Okay, we refreshed it, and you can see now that it is done. That took literally 100 seconds. So like a minute and a half. Super fast. Now, let's download this puppy. We're going to download this file. So you can download it to your computer or wherever you want. I'm just going to save it here. Of course, you can rename it whatever you want. Now we can open it. Let's actually open it. It's going to show in folder. Let's open it in Adobe Acrobat. All right, so here's that sample page that we put in front of our cover page, right? Now, what I like about Adobe here and when we're looking at the package that we've assembled is you can pull up the thumbnails. So what happens here? We can go right to our cover letter. You can see the exhibit number, the exhibit pages. You see the forms and any addendums. You can see all the items that we added and their page numbers. And the other thing you can see with the thumbnails here, really quick, you can read the thumbnail Exhibit 1. So if you're like, oh, I need to check that G28 really quickly. Maybe you've archived this later and you just need to check it. All right, I'm going to check. There's Exhibit 1. Here it is. And maybe you say, you know what? I don't know if I got enough pictures. Let's look at Exhibit 6 here. We're going to scroll down. 1, 2, 3. I'm just reading the thumbnails here, right? Exhibit 4. And here, Exhibit 6. And I can see the other pages right under it. There's one. Okay, you can see I've got my custom text and my page numbers there. You can see I've got another picture there. And now I go on to Exhibit 7. I've got a picture of a ukulele chord chart here. Of course, that's essential evidence with any immigration case is ukulele chords. Other pictures, things like that. Here's some of our bellas as Exhibit 9. So the idea is you have each of these exhibit sheets, and you know what? Does USCIS throw them away? Maybe. They shouldn't, because now it's part of your case. It's got a consecutive page number in it. They shouldn't be throwing it away. But even if they do, who cares? We're not here to make their life easy. We're here to make our lives easy when you have to go back later and review something. Maybe if you got an RFE, you got to jump through these exhibits quickly. And now that this is in your server or inside Prima, you can download it, look at it, and you have it really quickly. The other thing I want to show is just lastly, like how big are these files? This particular file is actually 15 megabytes. So it is, how many pages do we have in here? 66 pages. So we want to make sure that you still have a high quality image when you're using your PDFs. So 15 megabytes is reasonable. Anyone with a decent internet connection can use that. And again, you see it generates and renders in about a minute and a half. So now what you could do is you could take this and you could put the first piece of paper in your printer as your letterhead. You print all this off and it's ready to go. So I hope you're as excited about this as I am. I'm just totally thrilled about having package assembly because I know for my paralegals it is going to save them oodles and oodles of time. And just because of the nature of package assembly now, it's even more important that when you get an exhibit in from your client, go ahead and upload that right to your checklist. And remember, you can do that from your iPhone, your Android phone, any phone you have. You can open PrimaFacie on it, go to the case, go to the checklist, click upload, and it's going to say, hey, do you want to take a picture? Yes. So you can be there just snapping pictures of all your exhibits, and then when it's time for package assembly, you're ready to go. I'm attorney James Betzel. This is PrimaFacie and the initial release of our package assembly feature. Hope you enjoyed it, and I know it's going to save you tons of time. Have a great day.